Hi guys, Forgotten Wolf here, and this is the Mario Sluggers League Season 12 finale. We are covering the awards and the playoffs and the World Series today. Thank you guys so much for supporting this journey, and let's begin. I'll start with the awards and All-Stars. William Afton won Least Valuable Player or LVP, so good for him or bad for him, I guess. Blue Toad rose from out of the league to a star of the season and deservedly won Breakout Star of the Year. Not really close there. We brought back Pitcher of the Year and gave it to Boo, on top of being arguably the best pitcher of the season. Pitched 22 straight innings, a league record. Mario had a questionable 2 previous seasons, but this season he came back to be the second best player and defensive king, which made him the easy choice for comeback player of the year, and Mario won his first ever defensive player of the year. As for Slugger of the Year and MVP, it would go to the same player, Hammerbro, being key on defense and getting 7 home runs, just one shy of tying the record for most runs in a season by a player. He was the obvious choice, and everyone agreed in the league he deserved it. As for All-Stars, the All-Stars were as follows. The Yoshi Eggs had Yoshi, Hammerbro, Mario, Boshi, Daisy. The Diddy Monkeys got 2 All-Stars, being Boo and Green Drybones. The Bowser Monsters had Bowser, Green Critter, Yellow Pianta. The Peach Monarchs joined the Yoshi Eggs with 5 All-Stars, being Peach, Wario, Firebro, Boomerang Bro, and Blue Toad. The Bowser Jr. Rookies had 2, being Bowser Jr. and PD Piranha. And the Luigi Knights got 1 All-Star, being Red Piazza. Now, on to the playoffs. Entering the playoffs, the Bowser Monsters, the Diddy Monkeys, and the Peach Monarchs were all desperate not to let the Forgotten Wolf and the Yoshi Eggs win the World Series for an 11th time in 12 seasons. The Forgotten Wolf believed that it was his team's destiny, and destiny arrives, giving us Mario Sluggers League Infinity War. I'll start with the Yoshi Eggs versus the Peach Monarchs, the 1 seed versus the 4 seed, where in Game 1, it would be a blowout, as at Mario Stadium, the Yoshi Eggs would win 8-2, Mario getting his revenge in a way. The Monarchs would respond by taking them to the most difficult stadium in the league, Peach's Ice Garden, for a winner-go-home game for the Monarchs. However, it wouldn't work, as despite a late attempt at a comeback, the Yoshi Eggs would win 8-5. The Yoshi Eggs are onto the World Series. Woohoo! While the Peach Monarchs were eliminated. Boo! And we're facing a difficult offseason ahead, with many players going to be free agents. After the game, Monarchs players were saying the Monkeys and Monsters are our last hope. This brings us to the Diddy Monkeys versus the Bowser Monsters series, the 2 and 3 seed, duking it out blow for blow. The first game wouldn't be a contest, it was a blowout, as the Monkeys utterly destroyed the Monsters 14-4 in a World Series rematch matchup. Monkeys GM Bread on the Floor took note that the Monsters and Monkey Mans were weak on DK Jungle. Monkey Man and the Monsters took the Monkeys to Bowser Stadium for Game 2, the Monsters' best stadium. This plan would work, as the Bowser Monsters were barely able to pull the victory 10-6 to force a Game 3, Bowser playing a crucial role in that win, and Game 3 would be the final game of the first round of the Season 12 playoffs. Of course, first round works where the playoffs work, where first round is best of 3 and the World Series is best of 5. In Game 3, the Diddy Monkeys had home field advantage, obviously being the 2 seed. They would take the Bowser Monsters back to DK Jungle. However, the Monsters came prepared, and they executed a plan to contain Green Drybones, the Monkeys' best hitter, and make the rest of the Monkeys do the damage. However, the Monsters didn't take into account one player, Birdo, as she would lead the Peach Monarchs to a 10-9 victory and another World Series appearance for the Monkeys. For the 3rd time in 4 seasons, GM Bread on the Floor would be back in the World Series. Now more confident than ever against what some would call the Thanos of the Mario Sluggers League and the Forgotten Wolf and Eggs. And as for the Bowser Monsters, they were eliminated. Boo! And had a lot to think about on defense for the upcoming off-season. The Yoshi Eggs entered the World Series, seeking to establish order and get an infinity gauntlet of playoff wins this season, as having swept the Peach Monarchs, a sweep against Diddy Monkeys would give them 5 playoff wins. Game 1 would be at Mario Stadium, where the Monkeys got a 5-4 lead. However, the man, the myth, the legend, the award winner Yellow Magikoopa would get MVP and win the game. Wait, what the fuck? Yellow Magikoopa. You were hearing that correct. Yellow Magikoopa hit his second career home run in Game 1 to win Game 1 6-5 for the Yoshi Eggs. That feels really weird that Yellow Magikoopa would carry the Yoshi Eggs of all people. In Game 2, the Monkeys took the eggs to the Monkey Special Stadium of DK Jungle. However, Game 2 wouldn't go as planned for the Yoshi Eggs, as while they would win again, it would be 8-4, leading into Game number 3. In Game 3, the Monkeys were facing a sweep, and the Yoshi Eggs switched up the game plan by returning to Yoshi Park. In Game 3, the Monkeys used the game plan they did in Rivalry Week, shut down Hammer Bro at all cost. This worked, but like how the monsters failed to account for Birdo, the Monkeys failed to account for Mario, as Mario would not be denied a 6th ring to him and Yoshi. Mario would lead the charge, and this time they won the game. He won the game for the Yoshi Eggs 4-3 in a narrow contest. As a side note, Diddy Kong broke records this World Series, scoring 0 box score points in individual points in the World Series. That has never happened in MSL history, in playoff history. So, welcome to the record books, Diddy Kong. That's really, really bad. Either way, the Yoshi Eggs were champions, and overall, many in the league felt they had lost. The Forgotten Wolf won his 11th championship, while his favorite duo, my favorite duo, Mario and Yoshi, joined Bowser as the only players to ever win 6 rings, seeking for the famous 7th ring. Now, the league wouldn't forget this loss, and Monkey Man in particular, he wanted to make a move, answer the Eggs ring with a move for his own. The move, Luigi, the former GOAT of the league before Mario and Yoshi dethroned him, had returned to a competitive team, being broken out of the Luigi Knights jail, and Luigi was traded to the Bowser Monsters for a first and Toadsworth. This sets up another insane season of Mario Sluggers League, Season 13. But thank you guys so much for supporting us through 12 seasons, and until the 13th season, until next time, bye!